strange how I feel, I think, in the last few weeks, months really, I guess, that I'm being pushed to the edge of the church. That it's not so much people don't want me, it's that I'm reacting against all the things I'm not quite sure that I can go along with in the church. And I'm feeling that I am looking into something which I used to be right at the centre of, a part of, as a minister, but now I'm not anymore. And I've been pushed out.
Is that painful?
It is actually, yes. It is very painful. And what is interesting is that I'm put into the same position as those who are divorced in the Roman Catholic Church. The divorcees can't go to communion. That people who have some irregularity in their lives, or they feel that no way can the church take them back in again. And so we're all standing on the edge, as it were. We're sitting around the edge of this table. And it's rather like a doughnut. You know, I was eating this doughnut, thinking, here we are all on the edge. What's in the middle?
What's in the middle?
Is there nothing there? Or is there a bit of jam?
But what you believe is there, Martin. You're actually taking to the fringe where the majority of people are, aren't you? I mean, I feel uncomfortable with the institution of the church because I feel that its power structures, its position, its status, its success-orientated, its achieving whatever it may be, it's got to learn to be vulnerable and to be broken. And that's very painful. And I've got to be there with people who you say are on the outside looking in. That's exactly where our Lord would be.
But isn't that, yes, when you say that, and I think to myself, but that isn't what I was taught. That isn't what I've grown up with.
But you've grown with it, haven't you? You're growing in a different direction.
Sure. And so
which is healthy.
But the majority of us aren't there. Normal, sensible, acceptable people. We're not there in the middle.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably take you up on the normal and acceptable, because what I find in my church, because it has its roots with a middle-class group, it finds it very hard to cope with, you know, West Indians or black people in general, the working class people who may not have had a good education. There's so many of the core group who have had good educations, have got degrees and doing professional jobs, and they find, or we find it very hard to bring in people who haven't had that sort of background. You know,
yes, you feel part of a minority.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, I'm working very hard at it because I feel the church should be a family.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're a clergyman's wife, aren't you?
Oh, please don't.
Don't. You don't want to be.
I don't like that role. I love being Stephen's wife, but I don't want to be called a clergyman's wife. I resist all those invitations.
You don't go to clergy wives things.
I refuse to go to them, actually.
That's stereotypes,
yes,
isn't it?
I see myself as a clergy person. That's one of my fringe experiences.
And you want to be something else, don't you?
I feel that God calls me to exercise a sacramental ministry in the church.
Yes.
That means becoming a priest.
Becoming a priest, yes. I feel called by God
And aren't
to that.
you doing that now?
I think that's a cop-out, that kind of statement. I do, in fact, exercise a fairly sacramental ministry in terms of forgiveness, for instance, as a counsellor and spiritual director.
Yes.
People come to me sometimes with heavy guilt feelings, and they make a confession, as it were. And on the occasion when I think it's appropriate, I do, in fact, lay hands on them and invite them to accept the forgiveness and reconciliation
But I
of God.
think within the stereotype of the average clergy person today, you would find that you had so much pressure on you that you wouldn't be as free as you are now to exercise the ministry that you're exercising.
I have to keep hearing these things.
I really do believe that. I mean,
Philip.
I've had to come out of parish ministry to find a new liberation in myself. And I mean, I do feel that I'm on the fringe
That's right.
of the church.
Very similar. I mean, it's interesting that you want to become a priest. I don't want to be a priest anymore. And you don't want to keep with that
I
stereotype
don't want to keep
of a
with
priest.
it, I can't stand it.
And yet
no.
I see myself as a minister in the church very, very strongly. I think that ministry of service is there as it always has been. And other people seem to see that as well. That's what I think they can't cope with, actually.
Yes, they can't cope.
They then would put you on the edge. And so we become edgy people, you know, and I really think that the church walks with us.
That's exciting, isn't it? I don't feel edgy by being nervous about it. I feel excited that I'm on the fringe because I believe that's where God has put me.
But I think God walks with us. I don't know about whether the church walks with us. you see. I
That's
think they're
very
different things.
Yes.
They are different things. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so, but all the time we're on the fringes for different reasons. Shouldn't there be something to sort of draw us together? I mean, I don't think I want to be a fringe person forever.
Yeah.
And surely that's not what
Is there any
church-
chance?
When you go beyond the fringe.
Is there any chance?